All right. Hello, everyone. Today is August 15th, 2024, and this is the Kubernetes Cluster API Azure meeting. We're part of the SIG cluster lifecycle, which means we abide by the CSZ of Code of Conduct. Just please be respectful and raise your hand before you need to say anything. So, uh, yeah. So it looks like we have oh yeah, first of all, if there's anyone who's new to the meeting, I'll just go quiet for a second if you want to introduce yourself. I think we're all good here. So yeah, and if you haven't already, please add your name to attendee list and join the SIG Cluster Lifecycle email group if you need edit access. All right, let's go to open discussion. So Sabasis, yeah, take it away.
Sure. I'm not seeing any icon for hand to be raised, but I guess I can still continue speaking.
Oh yeah, no worries. Go ahead. I don't know
Sure.
why that's happening.
Sure. I have total four questions slash topics to be clarified, discussed. The three I penned down. One, which is optional. It can be parked for next meeting. The first one is we are using CAPI CAPZ, not ASO V2, and looking to create managed AKS cluster of the type workload as well as of the type management from within management workload clusters. When it comes to authentication and authorization, the team chose to use AD as IDP. So this cluster or these two cluster types to be integrated with AD. And when it comes to the authorization, for whatever good and bad reason, team chose to use not Azure authentication, sorry, not Azure RBAC, but Kubernetes native RBAC. And hence, driven by these decisions, we are looking to leverage CAPI CAPZ uh, of we provisioning these two types of clusters, ensuring once these clusters are getting successfully provisioned, we are expecting to see in that drop down on Azure portal where we see, I guess I closed the link at my side, but then where we see three drop down options which says disable local accounts, uh, which anyways we are going to do. And then it says uh, Entra ID authentication, but Azure RBAC. And the third is Entra ID authentication, but Kubernetes RBAC. We are looking to see the third option to be selected when we go onto the Azure portal overview blade. I'll stop here. We somehow started exploring different options. I mean, coincidental that Willie, I saw your lastmost comment on one of the closed PR and or GitHub issues on the official CAPI CAPZ specific GitHub repo, where someone in a way attained this, but not via CAPI CAPZ. But given our team has, as of now, decided not to embark upon ASO V2 way of implementing or provisioning this cluster, but stick to the CAPI CAPZ way, the manifest and YAML and all. But somehow we are struggling to have this attained. I'll stop here and open for any suggestions.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I completely followed exactly how you're looking to configure the cluster. If you could like write all of that down either here or in an issue, that would be super helpful. I guess the one question I have is, at least here where you have and not using Azure Service Operator, what exactly do you mean? Because CAPZ does use ASO and like requires ASO to actually function. But if it's purely just a matter of like what you want the YAML to look like, then that's a different story.
Thanks, John. Let me help add additional points here. We are using the YAML, which is being provided in one of the sublinks under the pasted CAPZ specific link under that website link. Yeah, so if we get to see, there is a section called AAD profile under V1 beta 1, a specific list of, so it's first one. Yeah. So as we see, managed, we understand it has to be true in order for these clusters to be integrated with AAD. Stop me if I'm off. Admin group objects, that also we understand. But we are not getting an handle or attribute to be explicitly set by us from within the manifest YAML to do something such that when these clusters are provisioned and we go onto the Azure portal, we'll get to see the third drop-down option is getting selected, which should say this cluster is now integrated with AAD. But when it comes to the RBAC, it is not Azure, but Kubernetes RBAC.
Okay. Is that like a new field that could potentially be enabled via the ASO API, but your team doesn't want to use the ASO API?
Correct. I'll also paste one hyperlink that's from the official GitHub repo. And I guess, Willie, you were one of the maintainer or contributor or responder where the corresponding pull request was closed. Yeah, this is the same question I have. But this person has somehow addressed it, but we are not able to do it through non-ASO v2 way. So you see, enable Azure RBAC false. So when we apply this, it is throwing error. And I have the exact error message as well with me handy.
Yeah, John, I'll let you go right after this, but so the issue is closed because they're using the ASO API. So this field is not explicitly defined in our you can't like use it without the ASO API. And the issue was closed because it fixed the user's problem because they just went ahead and used the ASO API. But is there something like specifically preventing you guys from using the ASO API? Because he's doing so will like basically give you access to all of the fields, and you don't have to wait for us to like implement anything. Yeah, you're seeing that error because we just don't have that field defined in our API. So it's just a matter of whether you want to use the API or not, and if not, then we have to like implement it like explicitly.
Understood. The reason is, I mean, our team since last 3 months embarked upon non-ASO way, and right now, if we take a detour, to whatever extent the learning curve will not be very flat, and we have some time-sensitive deliverable coming, and hence, as of now, we parked on to get onto the ASO V2 journey.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Sure. The other hack or obvious way is before we, after we execute this or apply this manifest YAML without this enable Azure RBAC false, we are applying or running one AZCLI raw commands, which explicitly said this, which is happening. Which will have a complete control of the entire object model of AKs through AZCLI. So that's the way out we are right now implementing. But I was looking to understand, like, it's just me who face this problem, or there are other folks who are also in the same journey. So
Yeah, so I'm gonna first let John, if you still had something from earlier when you were raising your hand.
No, you said everything I was going to say, so I will hand it over to you, David.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you considered the patch element? Because that might be a good compromise where you can like just change that one field but keep your existing YAML. We actually created that for this type of scenario where because we're really kind of, I mean, the current API we're really not adding new features to, um, and so the hybrid model where you can use the current API and then use the ASO patch field. Have you is that an option for you to try, or do you know about that?
I was not aware of David, but I will surely learn if you or anyone can help drop that link. I have to do some self research.
Yeah, I think this was pre-ASO API, so this was when you can just patch a specific field in. It's still like technically using ASO, but you don't have to like rewrite your YAML, so that is a good idea. I'm not sure where in the docs it is. Don, if you can like drop a link or something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can post a link. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, David, do you have a more or
No, sorry, I'll get my hand down. Sorry. Yeah, we're good.
all good. Okay, so basically, yeah, so ASO managed cluster patches defines JSON. So you just define like an extra field with JSON. It's not going to be like super clean, but you don't have to rewrite your whole YAML. So I think, and yeah, John put an example in the chat there. So yeah, for example, you can do it in either the Azure Managed Control Plane or the Azure Managed Machine Pool. And in this example, we're just patching in like these two fields which don't
I
exist in our
see.
API. So
Okay.
if that makes
This
sense.
is awesome. So at any point, if I extrapolate this topic, if at any point we see the non-ASO V2 API way of we doing something is not working or is supported as of now and it is throwing error, then we will be looking to see something around starts with ASO and ends with patches, and we'll explicitly put such missing or required attributes and expect to see that possibly will work. Is that what you're suggesting, Willie or David?
Yeah, I'll go real quick before John. So basically, yeah, anything it's in the ASO API, or see ASO docs basically. So if you click here, so you're either patching in stuff for the managed cluster or the managed cluster agent pool. Wait, John, which exact API was it again? Was it this one?
It's the 2023-10 Yep.
2023-10.1, yes. So here, like anything under here is like something you can patch in, as long as it's part of implementing ASO, which
I see enable RBAC. I see. Okay.
yeah, so
Enable.
just refer to this doc and you can you won't have to guess like if it's gonna work or not, just anything that's listed here, it should work.
Sure. If you can, Willie, please help drop this link as well. That will be helpful. This one, yeah. Sure. I'll try to self-explore. Thanks, John, David, and Willie. This was very helpful. Can I go for the next question, Willie?
I'll let John
Can I-
go first since he has his hand raised.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
just to add one more thing onto that. The only resources that you can patch with those fields, so I think the only fields like that that exist are ASO managed cluster patches, and so that would be on the Azure Managed Control Plane resource. And then on the Azure Managed Machine Pool resource, like in that example, there's ASO Managed Clusters Agent Pool patches. So those are the only two resources that you'll find that you can patch this way.
Okay, so are you got it? And it's also assuring. So just very specific to my need, enable Azure RBAC. Do you think I can leverage by implementing the patches way?
Yes, I expect that to work.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so it'll be like spec colon AJD profile colon enable Azure RBAC.
And brace closed. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is whosoever has came up with the idea. I sincerely, appreciate and applaud. We are still not in a way ASO V2 way, but still somehow it works, kind of middle path. So thank you for this.
Yeah, no problem. Props to John for implementing this. All right. Um, if anyone has anything to say about that, please raise your hand. If not, we can go on to the next one.
Sure. Can I go, Willie?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So the second one, this is link from the CAPZ again documentation. We have a scenario wherein in a particular environment, for example, dev environment, uh, we have four types of network zones. One infra, one untrusted, then trusted, semi-trusted, and all. The team decided the management cluster will only reside physically in infra zone, and workload cluster, depending on the type of confidentiality of the application, should reside in any of these three later zones, meaning untrusted, semi-trusted, and untrusted. What it means on the network topology point of view, the management cluster and all these type of workload cluster necessarily will be staying not in same VNet, surely not in same subnet as well. Now, when I read this documentation, we also be looking to implement API servers load balancer of the type private, because the company is not looking to see any existence or presence of public IP, be it public IP for NAT gateway possible. We will be literally not spinning up the NAT gateway. When it comes to the load balancer, which can have public and private, we wanted not to have public IP. So we have two constraints, technical constraints. One, for both two types of clusters, the load balancer has to be private, no public IP. And on top of it, these two clusters physically will be staying in two different virtual networks. Now, when we read these documents, it tells there has to be peering situated between these two networks, without which private load balancer IP will not be configured for both type of, be it management or workload cluster. So at a implementation level, I'm looking to learn why so, why there is an absolute necessity for these networks to be peered. We were assuming like as because CAPZ essentially uses possibly Microsoft Management RESTful API to manage these PaaS resources like AKS. So shouldn't that be happening at a, firewall level, so that the firewall NSGs are opened up? So these two resources or these two clusters will be still able to contact and doesn't require VNet peering essentially. I'll stop here.
Okay, so I'm not 100% sure if I understand. So if anyone else has anything to add, let me know. So I just wanted to summarize um, so the problem is like you have multiple clusters and they require VNet peering to communicate with each other, but like you're saying, it should just do that by default, or
Yeah, or max to max. I mean, if the firewall, and I should apologize, I mixed up. I asked the third question before second. So
Oh,
if, and I know, Willie, you are opening the AAD thing. So I'm sorry, I was talking about the third one. Can we stick to the third one because we are already in flow?
oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so right. Let me go ahead, John. I'm gonna read over this.
Yeah, so I guess kind of my general way of thinking is if you can show that it works without the VNets being peered, then I think we should allow that in CabZ. So yeah, I'm not super familiar with exactly where this requirement is coming from or if it's really necessary, but if you can show that it's actually not necessary and CabZ is just getting in your way, then I think we should be open to lifting that requirement in CabZ if CabZ is enforcing that.
Sure, John. We are very much open and glad to share, but allow us at least 2 working week from today because we are yet to reach to a stage or environment where we'll have a mix of these disparate VNets to be played out with. So right now, all our both management and workload clusters are sitting next to each other and all are co-located in same VNet. So this is not the good environment for us to prove in either way. So, but then I'll surely share our experimental outcomes, John.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I think that would be, because yeah, I think at some point somebody needs to try this and just see if it works.
Sure. But then we did read this document and we have already put a disclaimer to our backend networking team, like be very prepared if something goes wrong. So have these networks peered to each other. And then that matter will go to, I mean, you guys to understand or to reason over why it was absolutely necessary, if that works.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I can't really, I'm like looking through right now. I can't really find the exact reason yet. And this was written like 4 years ago, so it could have changed. So
Sure.
yeah, just keep us updated if it's preventing like something from being implemented, then yeah, well we can um like hop on that and as a priority. But if it's just some other configuration that needs to be done, that's probably also helpful to add to the documentation. But yeah, just keep us updated.
Surely.
Okay, cool. So if that answers your third question, let me know if
It
you
does.
want to
Yeah,
do
it does.
question.
We have few minutes left. Can we cover the second one?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that sure? Very quickly, it in a way relates to my first question. Yeah, this is the, I guess you have opened. Yeah. So this talks about the need of the AD. But I mean, coming from non-Cappy CapZ or ASO V2 way, just Terraform way, or plain vanilla, manually going, I mean, interactively going to the Azure portal and manually creating this AKS cluster, we never erstwhile necessitated to have two AAD apps, which gives birth to correspondingly two SPNs. I mean, we just have the cluster created, and so long as it has one SPN, I mean, one AD app giving birth to its corresponding one SPN, that would have sufficed all this time. But when I read this documentation, at the end, it talks about how you allow an identity of the type admin, having admin privileges to go inside the cluster. One AD app with one SPN, I mean, giving birth to its corresponding SPN, will help suffice. But then I'm looking to understand why there are two AD apps, one being called as, I mean, its corresponding SPNs as assuming the role of server SPNs or something like that, and the other one is client. So a server app or client app. Why there are two?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm not sure I fully understand the scope of this particular doc. But are you still asking in the context of AKS? Because this
Correct.
document, I think, is kind of assuming a self-managed scenario.
Ah, okay, I see. Yeah, I'm
Because
still
yeah,
talking about the Azure Kubernetes Service managed cluster.
okay, cool. So yeah, I think at least kind of my very high level, possibly wrong understanding is that if you set that AAD profile managed AKS field, then that kind of takes care of most or all of what's described in this document.
If anyone can help drop that link, I'll self-learn. The resource type,
Which
uh,
link are you looking for?
the managed one, in order to have the cluster, AKS managed cluster integrated with AD, which specific resource type I have to play with? If is this the one AD profile under
Right,
Azure?
yeah,
Okay,
yep, it's that one. Yep.
So
I
this one's talking about disable local accounts, but you can kind of follow this.
correct. Yeah, okay. Yeah, which in a way relates to my first one, which anyway we are tinkering with, but I'll self-explore. But then this clarification was helpful. I was getting confused, like why for AKS context it was needed, but then it was. I mean, if someone is creating the unmanaged VMSS way, then possibly it is required. Is that what you're implying, John?
Yeah.
Okay, I got the answer. That's all, Willie,
Okay, cool. So
and
I
everyone.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we might be able, it might be a little unclear, but I think most of the docs are assuming self-managed unless it's in like, unless it says so explicitly that it's a managed AKS cluster. So like most of the stuff within this page would be on for like managed cluster stuff. Um, but yeah, I think we could make that more clear. So maybe an issue can be created for that. But yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thanks so much again. I guess David, hands is raised. You are looking to answer for this. I have to jump out of this call to get into some other call. Go ahead, David. I would love to listen your answer.
Oh no, I just was gonna say that I think I mean I believe and I've known for a while. I think we really need kind of a pretty good refactoring of our docs because it's like not very clear what's designated towards self-managed and what's designated towards managed. I mean, there's a managed page, but like it's kind of buried in there, and there's not a lot of clarity on that for people, as well as like which like even under the manage if you're creating AKS, there's kind of three modes really, and of which one you weren't aware of until just now, which is the hybrid kind of way. So yeah, yeah, that's all. I definitely think we can file an issue and work on.
Sure, sure.
I agree.
Thanks, everyone. Willie and everyone, I really need to jump into my another call. But then every time I join, this is my third attendance in a row. So sincerely appreciate all your work, and I am started following what you guys are doing. And whenever I have questions, or even if I do not have any specific questions, I go through the recording. So thanks, everyone's effort.
Yeah, no problem. If you have any questions before next time, just put it. Feel free to like use either Slack or reach out.
Sure, sure. I'll take a leave now. Bye.
All right, see you. Okay, so I think that was all the open discussion topics we had, unless someone has anything they want to bring up. David?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think there are some bugs that I think would be good to triage with the rest of the time, that are in the queue there.
We just closed my tabs. Uh, wait, hold up. Buzz. Oh wait, there's a link here. I don't know if that just does the same thing, but okay, no, yeah, we should do this. So we should look at the ones without priorities.
Yeah, then that means they haven't been triaged if there's no like extra labels. Like if it's just kind bug and there's nothing else, then that means it hasn't even been looked at all.
Okay, so these ones right here.
Yeah.
Bring your own VNet deletion issues. Um, I feel like
I see this one has a PR linked already, so I wonder if we can safely call that triaged.
Yeah, I just put another label on it. You could just put it priority backlog or something like that. I don't think there's a already been triage label. There's only a needs triage label. So that's we've just been using the priority asterisk whatever, as like hey, we've put it down there.
I
Like
mean,
kind
I
of like
gave it an LVTM. It just kind of needs an approval, so maybe I should just put it important soon.
sure.
So the author doesn't get discouraged that like there's an LGTM, but we put a backlog on it. And how you do it? Okay. But yeah, I mean, if someone can like take a look at this, that's pretty quick. So I think I just got lost in the queue. Um, okay. Downscaling with cluster autoscaler scales down wrong machine pool machines. And there's a PR open.
I think I have an idea about this one. I think we're waiting on Jonathan's LGTM on this. Um, Michael has explained his idea.
Okay, cool. Looks like it's been a week, so maybe we should just ping Jonathan again about this. No, as if he could reach out if just so we don't have to
Yeah,
keep
for
them
sure.
waiting.
For sure.
Cool, thanks. We'll put important soon as well, just because it's about to be LGTM'd or approved. VMSS reaches limit number of models, can't be scaled anymore. Changes being tested. Looks like a backlog to me. Better UX to indicate the reason of waiting for infra when using machine pool / Azure machine pool. VM size is not available. Right. I remember we've always had to like look in the logs for this. So this does look like a valid issue. Let me just Shrimple ready state leading to not processing provider IDs in CAPI. Is this like backlog? This does seem like kind of a big bug. What do y'all think? I guess there's no PR yet, so. Oh, sorry, John, were you gonna say something?
I mean, I was just my first look at this, it seems like it's not like causing any horrible behavior other than just kind of being de-optimized. So
Okay,
yeah, I guess backlog seems reasonable to me.
cool. Just wanted to make sure. Better error message for not setting identity field. This is me. I forgot what this meant. Okay, so
I think I remember. So I think this was when like if you specify a user assigned identity on a machine, then you don't also specify identity user assigned, then that user identity that you specified with the full ID, I don't think anything really gets done with that. So it's probably a mistake to specify user assigned identities and not also that identity user assigned. I think that was the context
just like a quick webhook fix. So I'm just gonna like assign it to myself because this is pretty quick. It's a backlog though. Um, Next one looks like you're assigned, John.
Yeah, this one I've taken a look at. So I think you could probably call it backlog.
Cool. Azure Machine Flow Controller endlessly reconciles. John, do you have anything to add or?
I think I did fix this. I wonder if I just didn't link the PR correctly. Oh no, I think this one. Um, so under the what did you expect to happen? There's 2 points. I think we fixed the first one, but then I think we left this open to do some better logging, so we can catch when this happens in the future. So um, we can probably call this backlog.
Okay. I guess maybe could you update the issue real quick just to say.
Yeah, I can clarify. Yep.
Cool. All right, last one, Azure cluster. Failure domains do not always match specific control plane pattern machine skew. Also from you, John.
Sorry, I was typing.
Oh, no worries.
Oh yeah, so for this one, I think we can call this backlog because yeah, like I mentioned in that comment, we kind of have a workaround by carefully selecting our regions. But yeah, this is still a bug.
Cool. All right, so that's all the bugs. Guess we can take a quick look at the milestones and then call it. If anyone has any objections, we know, but it's like we got a little more than a month and not too many issues, so not bad. All right, enable the use of an external control plane. I mean, I guess there's still a month, so I don't need to be kicking things off, but let's just see if there's stuff that we need to be reviewing. Um, it looks like there needs to be another review on this. So let me put, I don't know if this is wait on author actually, because they got back. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh wait, this isn't the author. Uh, yeah, so it's wait on author. If you configure controllers to launch ASO resources, is this something we want to do for this milestone, John, or next?
I don't see personally any huge urgency to do this, but we can leave it on the milestone. There's still plenty of time we might get to it.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna not go over every issue then just because we still have time. I'll look at some of the PRs maybe. Okay, that I'm working on this as a PR open. Matt just has to get back to that. And then that's the same. Oh, that's the PR for that. And okay, I think we're good there. I'll just take a quick look to see if there are any PRs that need to be reviewed. So we can keep these things moving. Okay, tests. Okay, this is still in progress, I think. So that needs to be in progress just because there are a bunch of failed tests. Okay, remove. Uh, looks like there's some discussion here and it got stale. John, do you have any
To me,
comments?
to me, the main blocker here is that it breaks all the tests.
Oh,
So I guess I would maybe call that either in progress or wait on author because I think we need to adjust the approach there.
okay. Maybe we should add another comment here just to ask for an update just because it's on lifecycle scale right now. So it doesn't get forgotten. I think Matt's just been working on this. Although it needs rebase, so I don't know if this needs review right now. Uh, I'll just wait on author on this one. Oh, we looked at this, I think. Yeah, this needs a review from John, or Jonathan, sorry. We looked at this as well. Yeah, that's in another repo. Not too sure about that. Okay, I think that's all. So we got a couple needs reviews. I think that's all for today. If anyone is anything else they want to add, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and end the meeting. All right, cool. I think we're good. Thanks everyone for coming today. As always, let us know if you have any questions on Slack. Feel free to reach out. Yeah, thanks for coming. Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks, Willie.
Thanks, CL.